Developments, meantime, in the scandal rocking the VA, as the Justice Department says it has no plans to get involved. Attorney General Eric Holder saying the Inspector General looking into reports of widespread and deadly wait times and subsequent cover-ups. And until that investigation is complete, he plans to stay out of it.
Well, obviously, these reports, if they're true, are unacceptable, and the allegations are being taken very seriously by the administration. I don't have any announcements at this time with regard to anything that the Justice Department is doing.
Republican Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas sits on the Veterans Affairs Committee, which is holding a hearing on all of this tomorrow, and he's my guest. Senator, great to see you. What do you make of Eric Holder saying no investigation from his department thus far?
Handing off to the Inspector General. The truth is that the Inspector General has reported 18 times since January of 2013 in regard to quality care issues, in regard to allegations of impropriety. The reality is that nothing's been done. And so the Inspector General has been doing their work. But the question is, what would the Department of Veterans Affairs, what would the Secretary do to make things better? What we're seeing is just, in my view, we know that the department is now suggesting that they're going to do a survey across the country in 2 weeks of a small number of facilities. Right. There are 1,700 facilities across the country. 2 weeks seems to me that they're simply doing damage control. We need to have a presidential commission take a look at this, because they're not listening to the investigations that have already been done.
Well, you're talking about the audits that we reported, I think it was last week, that Secretary Shinseki said that he was going to order. But I also know that you're very concerned because you say that these allegations of cooking the books from Arizona to Wyoming to now Florida, etc., that the department has known about those. How do you know that?
Well, an Inspector General's report was issued last December about Cheyenne, Wyoming's problems, submitted to the Department of Veterans Affairs. I assume the Secretary either saw or had access to that report. And then earlier this week, the Secretary announces that they're going to do an investigation to find out what happened at Cheyenne, Wyoming. The Inspector General's report has been at the department for months, and nothing has changed.
So, you know, the frustrating thing for people watching right now is they hear, oh my gosh, we're going to have more hearings on this thing. They're going to kick off tomorrow, and I know you have a lot of questions that you want to ask Secretary Shinseki. But for the American people, and especially for those veterans, many of whom have had people who have died or gotten sicker waiting, are the hearings really going to do anything, Senator?
Look, this is not about one more hearing, but it really is about taking the facts that we already have, the circumstances that we know our veterans and their families have faced in VA facilities across the country, and having a leadership team at the Department of Veterans Affairs that is committed to changing the culture, that is committed to making sure excellence is available. Look, where would you think, if we're going to put a priority in this country, that we would have the most timely and the highest quality of care, health care for any particular set of individuals? Yeah. You would think it'd be the veterans of our country, the military men and women who sacrificed for our nation. We want to see the absolute best there.
Yeah, you would think.
At best, we see a mediocrity looking the other way. No real sense that anybody's in charge trying to make a change. And so what we don't need is just further delays, further investigations. Let's take some action.
Well, I know you were the first to take action, the first senator to call for Shinseki to resign. We will have a close eye on the hearings tomorrow. Thanks so much, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Well, now to the family.